G'day, it's Wesley here from Business Blessings, and it's my privilege to introduce you to our Breakthrough to Success 4-part audio series. This is a series that we put together because, we tend to get the hard cases of Business Blessings. We get the ones where they've tried their marketing, they've got their budgets, they've got everything in place, but there's still something that's not working, and hence they need a breakthrough. So during the month of April in 2017, we pulled together 4 renowned leaders in their specific field to look at specific breakthrough principles. The first of those was myself, and we did a series on removing spiritual breakthroughs, spiritual blockages. What is it that's stopping you from a spiritual perspective from reaching and seeing those goals and those dreams and desires that you have fulfilled? And in that series, I talked to you about some very specific testimonies of businesses that basically were shutting down, or they had projects that weren't working, and we saw God and we found the answers out to why that was happening. We removed that blockage, and it just simply things changed overnight. It is possible to see overnight change when you deal with those spiritual issues. The second part of the series is taking personal responsibility. And here we invited Kristen Lundeen who's the Vice President of QBQ, and she talked about eliminating blame, complaining, and procrastination. Do you or your staff have that problem? You're constantly blaming people, constantly complaining, or dealing with procrastination issues, always putting things off. Christine and the QBQ, the question behind the question, is a very powerful tool, very simple but very powerful tool to help you to eliminate those 3 things from your life. The next series was with Bob Beaudine, and Bob Beaudine is the CEO of Eastman & Beaudine. And I got to tell you, after we did this webinar, the audio is taken from, I literally got off and just sat there and wept for about a half an hour because of the goodness of God. Bob talked about the fact that God knows your situation. He knows what you're going through. And he has promised that he'll never leave us nor forsake us, but yet we need to take the simple step of having this daily meeting with God, where we meet with him to find out what is the strategy that he has. And he shared with us various stories of how when people have met with God just opened up the right strategy that they needed for that day that literally took them to another level. Bob is the author of a book called 2 Chairs, and look, we have over the years looked across the world for who is the best that speaks. Most prophets or people speaking in this area talk about it from a spiritual perspective. They talk about hearing God in a church situation or for ministry situations, but very few talk about it for the marketplace. And Bob is purely for the marketplace. He shares, how do you sit down and meet with God and discuss with him marketplace issues? And it was just a very powerful message. And I know, because I know as I've taken what Bob said and applied it to my own life, we're seeing some significant change take place. The last audio series is on heart-to-heart communication with Paul and Jenny. And Paul and Jenny are one of the world's experts in this whole area of life languages and effective communication. Paul and Jenny talk about how to communicate with anyone quickly and effectively. The reality is that everyone needs to be appreciated, validated, and understood. And Paul and Jenny talk about that and teach you how to learn to do that. Now, I must warn you, as you listen to that, you will see that I had a huge aha moment during that, as we were recording that webinar, because there was a key that came out that literally changed the way that I communicate with my wife. And I actually had to stop the webinar and interrupt them and say, you need to go more on that because you really touched something in my own life in doing that. Well, there you go. Each of these audios that you have access to are very practical, real, down to earth. Each one will give you step-by-step things that you can go away and do and implement straight away that will bring change. Look, this series was amazing to put together, and I know, because I know that from when we did it in April 2017 to when I'm recording this in June now, that those participated are constantly telling me about the change that has come into their life. Generally what happened was that God started to unlock something. Unlocked a particular, like if I take the spiritual blockages, God in one particular person, God just unlocked something in her life that we're now unraveling and seeing the change take place. The investment for the program is $77, and you get 4 amazing audios that will just, you can listen to again and again and again, and just allow God to minister to you as He literally gives you the keys to unlock mysteries in your life, in your circumstance. And as those doors are unlocked, you will step in to something fresh and new. Well, bless you. I look forward to hearing the testimonies from you as you listen to these audios and apply the principles to your own life.